The Houston Astros are heading into their 4th World Series in just the past 6 years. For lifelong fans and even those who just hopped on the bandwagon, it's been exciting, heartbreaking, anxiety-inducing, you name it. We've been through all of the emotions with this team. Hey there, I'm digital anchor Brandy Smith. For the next 30 minutes or so, it's time to highlight the fans whose passion fired up the Astros for 6 straight postseason runs. We're going to start October 6th, 2017, 2 wins into the ALDS. That's when Larry Seward caught up with fans of all ages.
Along Texas and Crawford. High fives all around.
Let's go, Astros!
Tiny Stros fans, twins, women in KHOU beards celebrated the Astros' 2nd straight playoff win.
I would just be able to die happy.
It's on 81-year-old Shirley Miller of Conroe's bucket list.
Well, number one, of course, is the World Series. And these are just little steps we're taking to get there.
Being an afternoon game,
Tell Mom we're at the dentist.
some skipped work.
I couldn't send him to school. I couldn't go to work, so we had to play hooky, and he got a doctor's note from dear old Dad.
This gang, who ditched school with a K to be here, goes to St. Anne's where Mom is a 1st grade teacher and Dad pulled them out.
Are you hiding behind the shades and the hat?
Yes, sir, a little bit.
Did anybody say anything?
Well, a teacher told us that if they lost, it was our fault.
Short winning soothes, but this atmosphere helps too.
It was nuts. And so today, I couldn't sleep last night. I got more excited to come to the game today. So I definitely saw a lot of excitement everywhere. It's amazing. It's an incredible feeling.
But listening to fans,
who's going to win the World Series?
I think Altuve.
the best is about 2 weeks away.
Of course, we know what happened from there. The Astros did beat the Red Sox. Josh Chapin was there as fans rushed to get new gear.
League Championship Series berth, check.
It was nerve-wracking, but we pulled through.
We haven't gone to championships since 2005. Here it is, 2017.
Gear for that next series, check.
Maybe 3 or 4. I already got a few at home.
We'll probably end up buying about 6 shirts and a cap.
$28 well spent, promise you that.
I had to come get one more shirt. I probably have every shirt there is out there, but I needed to come get another one.
As soon as the Astros wrapped up the win today against the Red Sox in Boston, Academy set out gear for the next round. T-shirts, hats, you name it. Kim Perez came in wearing some gear of her own.
Astros flag, a scarf, Astros pins. Oh my gosh, it means the world for the city. Everything that we've been through. I mean, you're going to get me to tear up here now. I mean, this team, they have stuck together.
A team lifting the city's spirits when it needs it the most.
Such a positive after losing JJ yesterday. It's very big for the city, and especially coming away from the hurricane. Houston strong, it's amazing.
These boys, they want to win it for them, but they want to win it for Houston. And I think it's going to happen.
Some of the most popular gear flying off the shelves sported the names Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa. They made the whole city proud, but Melissa Correa shared why that was especially true for Houston's Latino community.
Inside this academy, you're lucky if you can find a Jose Altuve shirt. Just hours before the Astros face the Yankees, available swag for number 27 is down to koozies and backpacks.
I mean, that's everybody's favorite, I think, right now.
At Brothers Taco Stand, Charles Rodriguez couldn't be more proud.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's not just for the Latinos. I think we just really needed this. After Harvey's, everything was real devastating. And then also being that Correa's Puerto Rican, it gives the Puerto Rican people something to look forward to.
Tonight's game will bring his family together.
Make a barbecue and watch the game together,
While uniting Houston.
A Sports Illustrated cover came out a few years ago in which they predicted the Astros to win the World Series.
On the cover, Altuve, Carlos Correa, and a bag made by Matias Romero.
We make stuff for the Astros all the time.
In South Houston, the man with Mexican roots manufactures bags for just about every MLB team. But to have Latinos on our roster makes that work so much better.
I think it's great that they're showing that Latino players can be positive role models.
Romero has yet to wash his Astros cap. He won't do it until we win the World Series. And while that seemed like a dream just a few seasons ago, With guys like Altuve and
It
Correa,
helps the community as a whole to be able to look up to these guys and see that they're doing well and they take care of their people.
So while you may not be familiar with Altuve's home country of Venezuela, or you just can't roll those R's in Correa,
It's awesome. We have a big opportunity to make it to the World Series.
tonight we're all bleeding orange. A simple enough bond to bring this city together. Standing for Houston, Melissa Correa, KHOU 11 News.
The Stros outlasted the Yankees to make it to the 2017 World Series and face the Dodgers. We followed the team out west and did not have a hard time tracking down Houston fans in LA.
I've just been a big fan since I was a kid.
Nick Mundy's been cheering for the Astros for almost as long as he can remember.
I was a 5-year-old kid. I was like, we're Astros fans.
He's been to dozens, maybe hundreds of games. First at the Astrodome, then Enron Field, now Minute Maid Park. Along with his ticket stubs, another collection began.
Every year I would have like a new Astros hat.
Thanks to Mundy's now wife.
She was like, hey, you should collect every single hat. Thinking, oh, the Astros haven't had like 4 or 5 different uniform designs. And she didn't know about like Sunday hats or batting practice hats.
The collection now fills this bookshelf and several boxes in his closet. It includes more than 70 of the hats the Astros have worn on the field.
I don't want to say I'm obsessed, but
He's not shy about his love for the Astros either, proudly sporting these in a city loaded with Dodgers fans.
no, it's awesome. It's great.
He knows being a fan isn't just about wearing a hat, but believing in your team, sometimes when few will.
The fans now, they're stronger because like we've been through the bottom of the barrel and now we're the best team in baseball.
Back in Houston, a lifelong dream came true for one fan. Freddie Weatherford dreamed of going to a World Series game for almost 6 decades. On October 28th, 2017, he got to check that off his bucket list, and Lauren Tallarico was there for it.
Among the fans at Minute Maid Park, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone quite as excited as Freddie Weatherford.
My very first Little League baseball game. I hit a home run.
You see, since he was just a kid, playing for the big leagues was his dream. Freddie was even scouted as a teen, but an injury put an end to his career. However, his love for baseball continued.
He's been a loving and supportive father for 39 years.
Watching games with his son Troy on TV, always hoping to make it to the World Series.
Raising us boys, he was unable to fulfill that, his lifelong dream. And so I just thought that if this was our chance to do it, then it was going to be well worth it.
So then,
That's the birthday boy.
Freddie's 63rd birthday rolled around.
Oh, those are hard to find. Where'd you find that at?
And Troy saw the perfect opportunity
I'm so nervous right now.
to hit his dad's gift out of the park.
On everything stretch, I'll change.
Oh, there you go.
After some Astros gear,
Here's the other one.
this.
What? I'm going to the World Series. Being a ball player, it's just a great thing to share it with him, knowing the type of young man he is and what he grew up to be.
This field of dreams, not so much a dream anymore. Standing for Houston, I'm Lauren Tallarico.
The Astros' 2017 World Series appearance was their first since 2005. Back then, a 3rd grader gave Sherman Chow some advice for the Astros, and she caught up with him to see how things panned out.
Absolutely delighted that they have made it thus far.
The last time the Astros were in the World Series, Bonham Palmer was there too.
And how old are you? 9 years old.
That was then. This is
Got
now.
some big hopes for the Astros this time.
Yep,
we're going to win this time. It all season.
Yep. With mom and sister at Minute Maid, Bonham is now 21 years old and an Aggie. 12 years later, he or mom still has the World Series tickets.
Inside chimney. We'll show everybody your ticket here.
And he is still a die-hard Astros fan, watching at least 100 games each season.
I predicted they were going to be back, but I was off by 11 years.
We watched that video again. Back then, Bonham had advised the Astros.
They found a lot of guys that can hit 280 with power, so I think they really listened to my advice.
Bonham likes this team because
We do have a lot of guys on the team that are not just great players, but they're also great people. Organizing stuff for Harvey.
I'm crazy about the Astros. He does have a truly special memento from that night.
You topped that ball in 2005.
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
You gonna catch another one?
Hopefully.
If it's not clear, most of us here at KHOU 11 are Astros fans too. So much so, we threw a party after they beat the Dodgers in Game 7, bringing the pennant home to Houston. Sherry Williams recapped the celebration for us.
We had a DJ, we had an artist, we had a reason to celebrate. Our pre-dawn parking lot paint party included Houston artist Gonzo 247. Get it? 24/7?
All the time, 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Like a lot of Astros fans, he didn't go to bed last night. And since he was up, we asked him to come on by the station to create this commemorative work honoring our Astros.
I want people to feel the energy, this awesome just energy and electricity throughout the entire city. It's still hours fresh, and that's the inspiration, and hopefully that people will pull that from there.
Gonzo started working on this giant piece at 5 a.m. By 7:30, this is what he had created. And what's art without music? So we also brought in Adrian Flores, street name DJ Flosky, to spin for us. He didn't go to bed last night either. He has been a diehard Astros fan for decades.
My dad used to take me to the park, and I was like, man, we have to get to the World Series one day. And we did it, you know. It took us a while, but we're there.
This victory could not have come at a sweeter time, given the bitter pills so many of us swallowed during Harvey. Gonzo says the World Series championship is a definite sign for this city.
Winning the championship has given us the opportunity to kind of breathe a little and say, you know what, things are going to get better, and let's start moving on and rebuilding, looking forward to the positive things that are coming our way.
Standing for Houston, Sherry Williams, KHOU 11 News.
The Astros World Series win did feel like a win for the entire city, a city that had been underwater just 2 months before. Janelle Bluda explained why that series was about more than just baseball.
It's hard to believe that we've gone from the depths of the ocean to the highest mountain we could ever think of.
From the depths of the floodwaters.
It's not just about Harvey. It's not about who got impacted. It's about the whole city, because the whole city got impacted.
From the trenches of a tragedy.
Harvey gave us such a 1-2 punch that we needed something else to focus on.
Has risen a city with a new focus, a new reason to revive.
Let's go Astros!
And with just a few colored markers and a white piece of poster board, that love shines through.
I've been waiting my whole life to see this moment.
It's hard to wrap your mind around where we were only 2 months ago.
We've taken a bigger hit than anybody in those cities could imagine.
From such a low to now, the highest of highs.
We needed a pick-me-up. We needed some good news.
We knew it, we felt it, and the city was behind this team, and they knew it.
The stakes were stacked against us, but together we have fought.
We've been able to come up above it all, and the Astros become a symbol of that.
Proving to ourselves and the rest of the world that our city,
Houston strong,
is strong.
To hear the players talk like that and knowing that they wanted to bring this home, magnificent.
Professor of psychology Susan Henney says Harvey gave the Astros a purpose.
This sense of purpose, of being the representation of Houston's strength and resilience, gave them something to focus on other than the nerves embodied in the game.
They knew it was more than a game, even more than the World Series.
A sense of pride. A sense of pride in our city, a sense of pride in our team, and our ability to say that Houston means something good.
It's a feeling of love, a feeling of hope that can turn from a tragedy to a triumph.
It's more than a game. It's about life. It's about family. It's about celebration.
Standing for Houston, Janelle Bluda, KHOU 11 News.
Those feelings, that momentum, it drove nearly 1 million people downtown to celebrate the team with a parade. Melissa Correa tracked down the guy in charge of Houston Fire Truck Tower 69.
We were expecting people on the sidewalks. We weren't expecting that PD was going to continually have to part the Red Sea and push crowd away. It was amazing. You know, Jason Dennis, my driver, did a fabulous job leading the way.
Shout out to Jason Dennis and Captain Jacobs with the play of the day.
At one point, actually, Dallas Keuchel held the trophy up over his head and almost hit a traffic signal as we're driving underneath it. So Thankfully, I'm grabbing him by the shirt, telling him, get down, get down, get down, and we managed to save the trophy and thankfully one of our ace pitchers.
And then there's a story of Jose Altuve. The second baseman was running late. He stopped the firefighter and asked,
how do I get the Minute Maid? Well, I had already had one of my Houston Fire hats ready, brand new clean one, perfect, ready to go, and I handed it to him and said, here, wear this. He took one look at it, put it on his head, and I told him, go that way.
And that's the voice of Alex Bregman yelling, we love you. The captain had to tell the baseball player to look up because the sea of fans went vertical.
People in the streets were crying and literally just screaming, just wanting a tiny piece of seeing what was driving by. When we drive by, people that couldn't be there, you'd watch way out in the crowd. They would be running to try to get up near anywhere they could and pushing forward just to be close to that trophy and to see their heroes. It was pretty spectacular to be a part of that.
And yes, that is the captain's hand on that World Series trophy.
I mean, I would imagine it being a little heavier than it probably is, but it wasn't that bad.
He accidentally deleted the video as he took a screen grab of the moment he handed the bling back to Bregman.
And then whenever George Springer would hold the trophy up, the MVP chants, it felt like your ears were literally probably going to bleed or burst. It was that loud. I've never heard anything like it in my life.
On top of Tower 69, near Dallas Keuchel, Alex Bregman, behind numero uno, and right next to
Carlos Correa's fiance,
Captain Jeff Jacobs, earned history.
It was luck. They called, they wanted to use our truck, and thankfully I was on duty.
A day later, dried streaks from champagne run down the windows. Astros pride is still stuck in the grill.
You know, I got to speak to some of the players. I got to shake hands and do things that I think a lot of people will never have the opportunity to do. So I don't have any regrets about the experience. It was amazing.
Standing for Houston, Melissa Correa, KHOU 11 News.
It's truly a challenge to explain how vital that 2017 Astros season was to the city of Houston. As fans, we rode that wave together right into the 2018 season, which again saw the team make it to the ALCS. But that's where the run ended. That's the thing about sports though, right? There's always next season. And in 2019, the Astros won their division, knocked out all the other American League contenders, and made it to the World Series again. As they did, Stephanie Whitfield met a Missouri City family that puts even super fans to shame.
A man in Missouri City has been an Astros fan for life. Through thick and thin, Kevin G's love has only grown. So has his memorabilia collection.
I don't know if there's a real good description of my fandom. It's Astros all the time, especially for 6 months out of the year.
The fandom is a family affair. His dad is responsible for the 300-something signed balls at his house.
He comes over and checks them and makes sure that they're still here when he comes to the house.
Now, G is sharing the love of the game with his son, too. When Isaac was only 3 months old,
he attended all 7 of the games, both here and in Los Angeles.
In fact, the whole family made the trips to LA, Houston, and back to LA.
Tiring, but exciting, but very tiring.
2 years later,
and I kind of married into baseball a little bit.
The couple has a newborn again. Audrey is less than a month old, so she'll be at home with mom this time.
So no more newborns at World Series. So.
The boys, on the other hand, already have their trip to DC booked, so they'll be cheering on the Astros in person until the final out.
You know, very few things in life can you really purchase memory-wise, and when you have the opportunity to do it and you have the means to do it, you just do it. You find a way to make it happen.
Let's play baseball.
Stephanie Whitfield, KHOU 11 News.
Houstonians really leaned into their fandom. Chris Costa showed us how fans represented the Astros in a very permanent way.
You know, I like repping to the fullest.
Astros fans have no fear in showing their pride.
Astros, baby.
No fear, even when they can't take it back if they don't like it.
Because we're going to win again. That's why.
It's the mark of a true diehard fan.
I just said, she's serious? She's seriously going to do this? I mean, wow.
Yeah, and I was like, man, if Altuve makes a home run, I'm going to get his name tattooed.
Here's a 2-1. And that's driven deep to left center field. Gardner is going back. Looking up. See you later. See you later. See you later. Astros headed back to the World
was like, wow, she really did it. She really did it.
Dedication. Dedication.
Shops like KHOU are offering a discount. $20 Astros tattoos until a champ is crowned.
Whenever I tattoo, they take a little bit of myself too. Whenever they tattoo, when I tattoo them, they will always remember me just like they will always remember the time when we won.
No doubt, no fear.
We're gonna take it back.
In Houston, Chris Costa, KHOU 11 News.
Ahead of Game 6 of the World Series, superstitious Astros fans broke out the prayer candles, the lucky socks, you name it. Even Alex Bregman wore the same red flannel shirt for 3 games. David Gonzalez found out what kind of quirky superstitions some fans have.
Call it a game day ritual.
Same braids, same hat, same shirt. I wore the exact same thing that I wore 2 years ago, hoping for another win.
Or superstition.
We're going to get here early so we can get the exact same spot and, mind our P's and Q's and just do it all the exact same that we did it in 2017.
I got to be the same way. I stand up for every game, so I bring out my Orbit. Bought him a while ago, so he has to watch every game with me. And ever since then, we've been doing pretty good this year.
Astros fans know they're really behind the team's historic season.
So this jersey I have to wear every single game. Otherwise, I don't know what it is. They lose. So I'm sorry for the first 2 games. I didn't wear my jersey, and I feel like it's all my fault. I'll totally take the blame, all for the Astros.
My ring, so we couldn't hit until I put the white ring on. And then once I put the white ring on, we started hitting, so here it is.
Not all fans believe in superstitions.
I don't believe in anything but God incidences, so yeah. No, I have a lot of faith, and if it be His will, then we will win.
But that doesn't stop them from turning to a higher power for a little help.
Yeah, we came in to say a little prayer just to make sure, God's watching.
All these Astros fans want now is to see their hard work pay off.
I hope it helps the team in a weird kind of superstitious way, but more for me probably.
Well, it didn't work for Game 6 or Game 7. And yeah, it did all come down to Game 7, just like it did in 2017. But so much had changed in Houston over those 2 years. Marcelino Benito talked to a Pearland family celebrating win or lose.
Here's a ground ball right side, could do it. Jim Dean knows a thing or two about nerve-wracking World Series games. The Houston Astros are world champions. He'll never forget the one he watched back in 2017. Neither will all of Houston.
It's a lot nicer to be on the edge of your seat in the comfortable chairs and the living room and, don't see, insulation everywhere and wires hanging all over the house.
This photo, snapped by Houston Chronicle photographer Steve Gonzalez, is the photo we all remember. His empty living room and the emotion on his face spoke to the hearts of every Houstonian touched by Harvey.
That picture doesn't just represent us, and it doesn't just represent our neighbors. It represents everybody that got hit by Harvey, and also now Imelda.
Dean watched the Stros lose Game 6 in 2017 in his gutted house. His world champion Astros were forced to a Game 7. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
It's nerve-wracking. These guys are going to push us to our limit just like they've done when we did it with the Yankees. And they're pushing us to us, and they're making us stress in a good way. Is what they're doing.
Now, 2 years later, Harvey is a bad memory, and we're staring at another Game 7. And the Astros are on the verge of giving Dean and all of Houston another reason to celebrate.
Watching Game 7 is kind of like, this is it. Today's the last day.
Dean will be watching Game 7 in the same place from 2 years ago, albeit a whole lot more comfortable.
We were roughing it back then, and I guess we won't rough it this time, but we'll be roughing it just biting our fingernails all the time.
He's nervous, but believes in his Astros.
We're Houston. We deserve this credit. We've done this, and we've proven that we can do it, and we're going to do it again, hopefully, tonight.
The team that lifted a city in 2017, he knows, will step up to take it back in just a few hours. In Pearland, I'm Marcelino Benito, KHOU 11 News.
In the end, the Astros came up a little short in 2019, but fans told Melissa Correa they were grateful for an incredible season.
No matter the wait or the rush, the long nights or nail biters,
It's been an amazing ride since 2017.
Amen.
We love you guys. We support you.
Win or lose, you guys are our favorite. You've got a great place in our hearts. Definitely all-stars.
And award winners. Justin Verlander will likely get the Cy Young Award for Best Pitcher in the league. Yordan Alvarez is in the running for Rookie of the Year. And Alex Bregman could be named MVP.
I mean, they're an awesome team.
You just come and you see them and you see how hard they work.
The Houston Astros earned the best regular season record in all of Major League Baseball with 107 wins this season.
What more can you ask for?
Just a reminder, Verlander did win the Cy Young Award in 2019, but he got hurt in his first start of the 2020 season, which was a sign of things to come. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the pandemic-shortened season, but it's worth mentioning the Astros did make it to the ALCS again and came back from an 0-3 hole to almost beat the Rays. Almost. So moving on to 2021. Just ahead of the Astros ALDS appearance, Xavier Walton introduced us to a Houston high schooler who had high hopes for the series.
When the lights come on,
hey everyone, and welcome back to another video on Manav Sports Talk.
Manav Gupta knows exactly what to say. He eats, sleeps, and breathes Houston sports. He's posted more than 200 videos on his YouTube channel, even more to social media. Arguably, none more meaningful, though, than this one.
I have a diagnosis of Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and today is my 18th birthday, and it's always been a dream of mine to have the chance to meet my most favorite player in baseball, Jose Altuve.
His dream came true. The one who always knows what to say was at a loss for words.
It was just crazy, honestly. I just couldn't believe it. I didn't really have any words, at that moment when he just came over.
Manav left Minute Maid with Altuve's signed memories and a bold prediction.
I believe this team can, go out there and win a World Series once again for the city of Houston.
That confidence, contagious. Pitch 25 posting this on Instagram, making a friendly wager with Fabulous Freddy's in Chicago.
Don't want to wear a White Sox jersey.
The stakes? An all-expense-paid party for 25 of the winning team's biggest fans. And, of course, bragging rights. If Astros lose, Pitch 25 managers would have to wear White Sox gear.
Man, hopefully we sweep them.
Back to Manav, he doesn't necessarily think sweep.
I think the Astros will take the ALDS in 4 games against the White Sox.
The Stros blew through the ALDS and ALCS, meeting up with the Atlanta Braves in the 2021 World Series. Zach Tawatari talked to fans who celebrated by loading up on more gear.
Fans don't have enough hands to hold all the Astros gear that they want to buy. And if it has an Astros logo on it, you can pretty much bet that they have it here. Fans who've been coming through these doors all day say their excitement can't be contained. Fans were gearing up and shelling out.
We spent $800.
Like this family who pretty much bought,
Everything we could find.
yes, the Astros are still dancing.
We can't wait. Win the World Series again. Yeah.
Fans like 11-year-old Enzo were through the roof with the Stros headed to the World Series for the 3rd time in 5 years. And what was your reaction like?
Jumping everywhere. We're gonna have to get some new furniture after this.
The shop was open all night.
The lines were like crazy, so we were like, nah, we're gonna come back tomorrow.
So far, the winning combo has been these fans supporting a team that they see so much in.
I think it's the camaraderie, the chemistry between them. It's such a wholesome group of guys that truly love baseball, and you can see it shine through them.
Believing a world championship is right around the corner wherever they land next.
Yeah, go Stros. We got this. We're going to win the World Series. Prove them wrong. Mark my word.
Imagine living on the corner of Atlanta Avenue and Georgia Boulevard in Deer Park. Well, a superfan got the city to swap out the signs, renaming the intersection after Altuve and the Astros. Melissa Correa checked it out.
3. Oh, that's really cute.
Who needs a lunch break
We don't need to eat.
when you have Altuve and the Astros?
How cool is that? One little sign.
Is giving Deer Park a double take.
People, it just, in 5 o'clock, it was like, slow down.
I realize it's just a street sign, but
it says Altuve and Astros. I mean, come on. What? I don't know who had this done, but kudos to them for getting it done.
Yep.
Burke McCleary,
We're pretty proud of it.
has never caused this much of a commotion.
No, I wasn't planning on this. I mean, I didn't think it would blow up quite like this.
The Astros superfan could not stand to live along
Georgia, Atlanta.
during the World Series, so he called up the city of Deer Park.
Told them that we're over here being accused of being Braves fans.
And early Thursday morning, the city made the temporary swap.
We're kind of hoping Altuve might show up next week.
Altuve is my favorite. I love Altuve.
Well, I've been doing this route for 3 years. And yesterday I passed the sign and I saw Altuve and Astros Street. I'm like, no, there was something wrong. I'm sure I'm in Deer Park.
Along the 2021 block of Altuve and Astros.
It might be a sign. Look at you.
The pros may still be on the road to a championship. Burke McCleary has already won.
I mean, this story has even made it to all the way to Atlanta, Georgia.
The city, not the intersection.
We know how that World Series ended, and Jason Bristol might have figured out why. Here's a strange but true Houston sports story.
Powering the train at Minute Maid Park? Home runs, but also going for a ride. Something so small, few people realize it's even up there. It's March 2009. Artist and sculptor Eric Caposta of Houston is finishing his latest project. Oranges for the tender or coal cart, 65 feet above the playing field. Since the Astros had never won a World Series, Eric has an idea. Those oranges need a
charm, a good luck charm. So
Eric includes a ladybug. Why a ladybug?
Ladybugs mean good luck. Or at least that's what I always heard.
Fast forward now to the 2021 World Series. While researching this story, we see the oranges, but no ladybug.
Uh-oh.
The train's conductor, Bobby Dynamite,
Gosh, I think it was before the
can't recall the last time he saw it.
16 season, 17 season.
Who knows what happened to the ladybug? Maybe that's another reason why the Astros have now lost 2 World Series at home. Once I told Eric the ladybug was missing, he got to work and made another. And hopefully, it will soon ride again. Minute Maid Park's Lucky Ladybug, a strange but true Houston sports story.
So will that do the trick? We're going to find out as the 2022 World Series starts on October 28th. Just like we have every step of the journey so far, KHOU 11's team will be there covering the games and the stories of the fans. If you text the word Astros to 713-526-1111, we'll send you back links to our coverage. And as always, you can watch KHOU 11 on air, online via KHOU.com and YouTube, as well as by using our KHOU 11 Plus app on Roku and Fire TV. Go Astros!